In this video we try to disappear, we hear lots of ambient noises, eat in one of the most iconic locations in Wales and have a lovely calm night. Or do we? I'm Dan Brown, this is my wonderful dog Gizmo, and you're joining us for one of my favourite ever stealth camps and Gizmo's first ever successful night out. As you saw in that opening shot, I was quite loaded up with camping gear, plus I'd fetched the Kelly kettle which also contained an extra litre of water, so I had a lot of weight that I was carrying around while also trying to hold Gizmo's lead. So my first port of call was to check in on the intended campsite and to leave a load of non-essential items for cooking, so that's stuff like the tent and sleeping bags and so on, hidden just away in the woods from where I intended to sleep, under a camo net, which, as you can see, was quite an effective disguise. Feeling much lighter, we set out to find somewhere to eat, so we passed beneath what I consider to be one of the greatest locations in the entirety of the UK, the wonderful Pontcysyllte Aqueduct, and we decided to stop here on the secret beach, as I like to call it. That's an ironic name because, as you can see, it is very much overlooked from every direction. However, because the footpath here isn't an official one and has collapsed in several places, not many people come down here, so it was possible for us to stay here, enjoying the moment, enjoying something to eat for 50 minutes, and although there were people walking and boats going over the aqueduct constantly, not a single person passed by us. I am sure that many of you who are watching this video will be like me and will be able to understand and appreciate what is so brilliant about moments like this, and that the fact I was only having the simplest of noodles to eat is almost not the point of this. Just being out here for almost an hour doing basically nothing, the sound of the river, the smell of the burning wood, that's all what it's about, as much as it is having anything to eat, at least in my humble opinion. You can see Gizmo was getting himself wetter and sandier and muddier to make sure he had that to drag into the tent later. If you're wondering what I use to stop him running off if he sees a duck or a rabbit, I have basically a giant corkscrew item which I'll do a proper video on just looking at that, as it's proven to be a very useful tool when out and about with Gizmo filming and camping and so on. When we finally returned to the intended campsite area, we'd done less than 3 miles in well over 2 hours because we'd taken it so easy, but there was a little problem which I'll discuss in just a second, so we had to run off and find a sheltered bit by the river for another hour. Well, my goodness me, am I glad to be back here. When we turned up before, there were a load of what I'll describe as youths hanging around, all shouting and chucking rubbish everywhere, trying to start a fire. Luckily, they couldn't get the fire going. All of my stuff is still nicely hidden. But yeah, we had to just walk on by and obviously not draw attention or look into where our stuff was to draw attention to it from afar. But it took about an hour for them to leave, and of course I then had to leave it a few more minutes to make sure that there was nobody hanging around. After all of the delay, I was very keen to get the campsite set up before it got too dark, just in case I had to use any light source, which of course would be a huge beacon and signal to where we were located for the night. I did set up this bit of camo netting, which, I'll be honest, in these light conditions didn't really work anywhere near as well as it had done previously, so I moved over to the slightly darker net, which gave a better result. I wasn't trying to completely obscure us, just generally break up my silhouette, and you can see though, compared to previous visits and testing of my camo, it wasn't anywhere near as effective a result, but I'll let you look at my other videos to see the camouflage in action properly. For now though, it was just good to have any kind of barrier directly blocking me from where there had been so many people only half an hour earlier. As you can see as well, trying to set the tent up with an incredibly curious Gizmo wondering what on earth was going on was certainly interesting as he continued to walk over it and pull his lead across it. But what a lovely lad, and I wouldn't change anything about this night for the world, you know. You can see there's a lot getting good old Gizmo's attention here. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of last time, when I was in the bivvy bag and after an hour of peace he suddenly burst out shouting and goodness knows what he was saying at something that had disturbed him outside. It was very loud in a bivvy bag next to my eardrum. Well, my friends, quite a lot later than anticipated. Here we are, the camp set up, a camo screen. I'll do something proper with that net once I've sorted everything out inside the tent. But right now, it's such a relief just to have it up and have everything generally set up. It's gone really quiet in this area, but there are still voices a few hundred feet away over by the river. So now it's time for the finishing touch. A pillow. Hello, mate. So as Gizmo was just demonstrating, we've got everything in the tent now. We've got our various bags, obviously a pillow. I've got a t-shirt just to put on underneath the shirt I'm wearing, and we've got 2 sleeping bags on top of our little inflatable mattress. You can probably tell by the image quality that it's a lot darker than the camera's making it look here. And I've got to say, I'm feeling everything's nicely blended in at the moment. If we have a look up here, it is just coming up to 9 PM. And somewhere through the trees, hopefully, you'll be able to catch a glimpse of a big old moon looking down at us. But my goodness me, feels like a very long evening has been taking place. Once I was inside and Gizmo was asleep, I've got to say this was one of the most content and happiest moments that I've had for a long time. And although it looked at first like it was going to be a nice calm night, the first noise that Gizmo heard outside led him to, well, do this. Yes, not ideal. So he's just let himself out of the tent entirely, and this is what he's doing. It was probably at this moment that I fully realised just how much of a keen birdwatcher Gizmo was, or perhaps you could say he's standing guard as the world's least intimidating guard dog. We're finally in the tent. It's really warm in here. I regret putting even just my little t-shirt on just underneath this top. I feel though, give it another couple of hours when the sunset's really a distant memory, I will be feeling very, very cold, not having brought a fleecy jacket or a bigger coat with me. So we've come out for a little walk, just a mile or so, just to hopefully let the cool air really cool us down, and I'm hoping that will let Gizmo get back in the tent, feel a bit warmer and really just want to snuggle up and go to sleep. Well, my friends, it's barely a minute since we got in the tent and zipped the door shut. And as you can see, I think, has he just gone to sleep? No, not quite, but he's almost asleep already. So that final chilly walk of the night has really done us both the world of good. It feels so cosy in here right now. I have absolutely no idea what is in shot here, but look at him down there, absolutely flat out. This really is brilliant. I love everything about this moment. This is fantastic. Shh, Gizmo, don't. Hey, shh, Giz, it's okay, Shh, it's fine. This is, shh, don't. It's all good. I love you, I've got your boy. Oh, he's lovely. Oh. Just listen to that, my friends. It's 5:30 AM. You can see the sun will be coming up somewhere in that direction. But listen to that morning chorus. Gizmo? Yeah, there he is. Oh, he's lovely. Just in case you're wondering, yes, it was a moisture magnet in there with both of us in such a small space overnight. Especially, I think, given... Oh, he's over there. Especially given how wet his paws were after our late night walk with all of the moisture in the grass that he managed to pick up and bring with him for the night. You can see that once again, Gizmo is absolutely enthralled by all of the sounds and birds everywhere. I am so glad that we both managed to sleep so well, because after our previous disastrous attempt at camping together, I really did think that it just wasn't going to be something Gizmo could participate in. So I suppose as I get the camp wrapped up, I should do my outro to the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do check out my other videos for loads more stuff like this. Please do subscribe, and if you want to help me out and support these videos, consider becoming a channel member, a PayPal supporter, a Facebook subscriber, or leaving a super thanks, just like some of my recent supporters. Melissa L, Sean B, BL Beach, L Hughes, C Cole, Dawn H, A Sanford, T Seymour, David D and Kaz G. I really cannot thank you all enough for the support. It really means a lot and really helps out. Well, my friends, I'm all packed up, as you can see. Everything feels 10 times heavier now it's soaking wet, but it's getting lighter by the second. The bird call is still going strong, so I'm gonna disappear. See ya.